Now I've just gone with a straightforward copyright Revelation Software Limited here. If I wanted to have the little copyright symbol, then I could just go into the character map in Windows and copy and paste that in. But I'm not going to worry about that now because I'm keeping things fairly easy and I want to move through. So once we've got our title and our text, what we'll do is go on to the appearance. Now appearance gives me the option to pick an icon. And there I can either have no icon, I could have information, exclamation, question, stop sign or other. And in this particular instance we're going to go with information. Other, I could simply have selected any bitmap that I wanted to and clipped and resized or created the entity, much in the same way that we've done before. The position, where do I want it to display? The center of the screen, the center of the window, or relative to the window? I'm just going to go center of the window, quite happy with that. And my justification, do I want it to be left, right or center? Let's go center. And the modality. Now the modality means that if we were to select window, then you've got to click on this before you can go back to the window. But you could use any sort of other parts of the application. Alternatively, if you selected application, it means that you've got to click on this window and you're contained within the application itself. And if you were to select system, then it means that you can't do anything anywhere until you've actually selected this. So the modality, I would say play around with until you get the modality correct for you, or again talk to the trainer when you do your official training so that you can find out when it's appropriate to use the modality correctly. When I'm doing these, I usually tend to set mine to application. Because it puts me a little bit more control. They can minimize the application, go and work on something else, but they do actually need to respond to this message before they go elsewhere into the application. I can change my font if I want to, and I can change the background color accordingly as well. Obviously we need the user to do something. Now there are a number of message styles, so this is just informational. I could have a response, a timed, processing, gas gauge, and I can suppress message displays. For the moment we'll just set this to informational. And also there are a number of button combinations that we can have on here. For me, I'm just going to have OK. I'm quite happy for somebody just to click the OK button once they've read the about. If you were asking them a question with a yes or no answer, then again you might want to do yes or no. Or if you want to give them the option to reply yes or no or just cancel out of the message, then again you've got that there. Something might have failed, so you might want them to retry. For instance, you might be trying to save something and a window's open or a record's open or something, so you give them the opportunity to close that and then retry. So you've got all these different options here, and we'll just go with OK for now. And obviously the button text, you can go in here and you can change that if you want to. I'm perfectly OK with OK. And the default button, which button is going to be your default? Well, we've only got one button here, so I'm quite happy with that. The final tab is the help tab. Now this is there'll be a help button, and it will then just show whatever you want. So normally we would have none on this particular button. You could also show a quick help message if you wanted to. So I could say just produce this context menu help quick help here, and if I was to click the generate code and I'll do a detailed message code, then that will then copy that code to the clipboard so that you can use that later on. And if I just run up Notepad and I do a paste, then you can see the code that OpenInsight has just created for you. So if you're a non-application developer like me, this is brilliant because it's now created the details for my message, and I can just drop that into my code when I actually want to call that message, and it gives me all the correct coding with the text and everything else in there, which is really nice. What I tend to do is whenever I create a message like this, I'll just copy this into like a Word document, so that I build up this library of all these different code snippets, and obviously just take a screen grab of the message itself and drop that in there. So that's all readily available to me if it's needed at any time. For now, I'm just going to, well, let's leave that as context menu help. I don't quite know what we'll get, but we'll leave that one there. But we could be calling a message or Windows help or even a store procedure. So if you want to get a little bit more complicated, you could do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just test run that, and that's what our little window is going to look like. We've got our about, we've got our information, and if we were to click our help button, then we just get the context menu help. Hey, you just called some help from the context menu. So fairly straightforward. Quite happy with that. So we'll just OK. Null was returned. We're not returning anything. So finally, we just need to save that, and I'm going to use my naming convention. So MP, and this is going to be a message, and this is going to be about. And we'll just OK that. And then we can come out of the user interface workspace and go back into the forms designer, and we'll open up the patient entry record. And what we'll do is we'll go into the menu and design, we'll come down to the help, hit return, and we'll add in about as a menu option and save that. And we'll also go into the quick events. We'll come down and locate the help about, and this time what we want to do is to display a message. We're going to send a message to the entity, and the one that we're going to send it to is our MP message about. The execute for the message is fine, and the parameters at window is fine, and there's nothing to return, so that's all okay. So we can OK that, and then if we test run the form now, save it on the way out, and we go help and about, we now get our little window come up with our help about. So we've created a message, hooked it up to a menu item, and we could quite easily have hooked that up to an event rather than a quick event if we'd wanted to, hooking up to a store procedure. We could call that message from within our code at any time. So you might want to say that something's updated, something's run, please wait while something happens. So once you've actually got these messages created and located in the repository, they're pretty much yours to do whatever you want to do. So that's it for messages today. In the next lesson, we'll be looking at quick help. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye bye.